Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube. It's Alexander speaking, your host, and with me is Johann Chance. Welcome. Johann Chance is, as we are at the headquarters of Chopard International Haute Horlogerie Sales Director, and Johann will present us an addition to a sports collection today.
Yeah, exactly. I will have the pleasure to introduce you the new model from the Alpine Eagle collection, which is the same design but completely new with a new caliber, and of course you will appreciate it very well.
It will be a tourbillon, by the way, but have a last look at us. From now on, the watches are the stars. Enjoy.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
So, Johann, we have 3 generations of Alpine Eagle on the screen, or you are seeing, guys, 3 generations of Alpine Eagle. You see the classical freehand watch, you see the chronograph, you have seen that before, and this is why we're doing the video. That's the new one, 2022 tourbillon. But before we go into the tourbillon, Johann, a little bit of a history or background for those who are not so much aware about Alpine Eagle.
Of course, we launched the 3 hands you see here in September 2019. But basically what you have to know is that it was the Carl Friedrich's son who goes to his father and said, okay, we have to do a new St. Moritz. Just to remember, the St. Moritz model is the model launched by Mr. Carl Friedrich Schaeffele in the 80s, which was a huge success and one of the first full steel bracelet and case watch. So it was a huge success, and at this time also Carl Friedrich came to his father and said, okay, we need to launch something more modern and more attractive for the customers. And at this period, Carl Schaeffele, the father, was not very convinced, but thanks to Carl Friedrich's idea, it was a huge success. And again, the generation later, what is also magic, he asked his father to do a re-edition, but with some different shapes and with more modern design. And Carl Friedrich was not very convinced, but at this time it was Carl Schaeffele who said, okay, we need to do that, because in the 80s I was not convinced, but you convinced me, so we have to launch the Alpine Eagle. That's why we call that not the St. Moritz, because it's of course a reinterpretation, but we would like to have a new collection, and it's called the Alpine Eagle. Why the Alpine Eagle? Because the Schaeffele family loves nature, mountains, they are walking a lot. And they say, okay, Alpine Eagle is the best name for the new collection. And you can appreciate on the dial, for example, we took inspiration from the iris of the eagle. You can see it's like the eye, the iris. The case and the bracelet are remembering the shapes of the mountain, the rocks. And you can see all the finishing, so we have the satin finishing, polish. It's the most complicated watch to make here at Chopard, because only one link, for example, on the strap, on the bracelet, it's already 3 components. So it's a huge work and a tough work for our polishers. But at the end, it's a masterpiece also.
The Chopard logo engraved, very nice. Thank you for that brief introduction. This was the first piece. Diameter is 41 millimeter. 41 millimeter. A real sports watch, very nice looking. And this is where everything started off in 2019.
Yes, exactly.
2019. Correct. Of course, success leads to small evolutions or huge evolutions, yes, depending how you want to see it. This was the chronograph, introduced in
2020.
2020. It's clearly the DNA of the Alpine Eagle, but in the execution of a chronograph.
Exactly. In 44 millimeter.
44. Quite something.
but we kept also the iris of the eagle on the dial. This one is the black one.
Let me play around in the light, and you will see again the structure. You see that structure of the dial that really looks like.
We are also still using the Lucent Steel. We call that the Lucent Steel. It's more light, so the color of the gray is more lighter and stronger also, because it's twice melting.
The steel used for the production of the watch.
Exactly. It's called the Lucent Steel A223 Lucent Steel.
Nice. Push pieces, start, stop, reset, of course. Screw down crown, waterproof until
100 meters.
100 meters. Also the classical freehand.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. So you saw a little bit of,
and of course,
butterfly folding clasp. Once again, I will close here. You see these.
And you can also appreciate our movement, in-house movement, fully integrated column wheel chronograph, self-winding movement with 60 hours power reserve.
There you go. And here comes the new member of the Alpine Eagle family, the Tourbillon. And this watch then is presented 2022.
Exactly. So the huge novelty, it's our flying tourbillon, Alpine Eagle Flying Tourbillon, which means we took our Alpine Eagle model, but we put the 96.24 caliber, which is the flying tourbillon, with the second hand on the cage. 65 hours power reserve, and with this beautiful blue Aletsch dial. Aletsch is the name of a glacier in Switzerland here.
It's a beautiful color.
Yeah, it's a deep blue. It's very, very nice. Also in Lucent Steel.
Yeah. It's basically the same sports watch, of course. The other way around. There you go. You reach your par now. Butterfly folding clasp. Once again, we've seen that. But I wanted to show you that you see through. I'm wearing a blue pullover today, so it is difficult because you don't think it is. You don't think you see through, but you do see through. I'm just here. Look. You see through the cage, and what you see in the background is not another dial. That's me here, but it's a see. You really flying tourbillon, no attachment, so it's really literally flying in its cage.
Regarding the dimensions, we kept the 41 millimeter dimension, but the thickness is really slimmer. It's only 8.03 millimeters, and you can see also the bezel. We change, so we modify the dimensions, and the dial looks bigger rather than the other one.
I will show you this.
But I promise you the two sizes are the same, so the global diameter is the same.
So what you see here are, in terms of diameter of the case, the same watches. But as you see, and there is no doubt, the tourbillon, diameter of the dial of the tourbillon piece, the new one, is, different. The size of the bezel is smaller, and it's a different watch. It's the same, 41 millimeter.
41 millimeters, and also the distance lugs to lugs is 45.73 millimeters.
Same watch, but due to design, depending on how the dial is designed and the aperture of the dial is, you see, it looks like a bigger watch.
You can see the beautiful finishings, and of course, this watch bears the Geneva seal.
Geneva hallmark, Poinçon de Genève,
Exactement.
Quality seal of Geneva. This again means that you all know the manufacturing of the L.U.C pieces is done in Fleurier. the components, but since this keeps the Geneva hallmark, the watch is assembled here in Geneva. This is part of the regulations of the Geneva hallmark. If a watch will carry the Poinçon de Genève, it has to be assembled in Geneva. And we are at the headquarters of Chopard in Geneva, and you see micro rotor in 22 karat.
22 karat,
yeah.
Yes.
And now you see you can clearly see through the calibre. Now you see it.
And this watch is also water resistant to 100 meters.
As all the others.
As all the others,
So
yeah,
100
exactly.
meters of water resistance for Alpine Eagle always. And in terms of prices.
So,
Price for this new, it's not a limited edition.
it's not a limited edition, and the price is 112,000 Swiss francs. Of course, it's not limited edition, but you have to know that all the Alpine Eagles made here in our manufacture are limited regarding the production. So it's Mr. Schäuferle wants to keep this collection as something rare. So it means that we are not producing thousands of watches per year.
A very good idea. Once again, 41 millimeters, both cases. Look at the difference you have when you look at these dials. The 2022 Tourbillon looks much bigger. Same case, 41 millimeter. And let me also show side by side the chronograph. This is a clearly bigger case. You see.
Of course, 44.
Yeah, you see that. Johan, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure, yes.
3 members of the Alpine Eagle family on your screen. The latest edition in 2022 is the Flying Tourbillon. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, let me know. If you have comments, please write them in the comment sections. Of course, stay tuned on WatchAdvisor. There's lots of information coming these days about novelties 2022. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you soon back here on WatchAdvisor on YouTube.